Welcome to this month's episode of RTO Insights, brought to you by the Association of Progressive Rental Organizations, the National Trade Association for the Rent-to-Own Industry, and sponsored by Rent Direct, a division of Nationwide, the country's largest retail buying group. This month's episode, I want to address the issue of whether RTO really costs too much. That's been the criticism that has been leveled against the RTO industry for as long as there's been an industry. Critics take low-end electronics, they compare the discounted cash price at a discount house to the total RTO cost in an RTO transaction for the same low-end electronics, and then rail at what the difference is. Critics never compare furniture, for example, perhaps because it's too hard to match sofas among stores, but probably because the comparison is not as egregious and not as dramatic. Critics never consider a customer's alternatives to the options that are offered in an RTO store. For example, take a washer-dryer combo. Calculate the number of laundry loads a customer with a couple of kids is going to have to do in a week. Calculate the cost of doing the same number of loads at the laundromat, which may be down the street. If the customer's lucky, it may be a bus ride away. Ignore the inconvenience of having to schlep baskets full of laundry across town to get to the laundromat, and just compare the amount of quarters that the customer got to feed into the laundromat machines every week versus the rental rate for having the washer and dryer on the back porch. And in most cases, it is cheaper to rent the washer and dryer from an RTO store than it is to go to the laundromat. And of course, eventually those payments end and the customer owns the washer dryer. When Texas was debating its RTO statute, the rental industry compiled and presented to the legislature statistics from other rental industries. They compiled statistics from rental yards, from music companies that rented musical instruments, including pianos, from the telephone company that was still renting telephones, and other rent-to-rent places. We compared rental rates to cash prices, and then we did the same thing in RTO stores. And we learned that rental rates in RTO stores, when compared with rent-to-rent stores elsewhere, were far, far less. There's of course a reason for that. Rental yards have to maintain huge inventories of light machinery, lawn tools, tents, party goods, the list goes on and on and on. They got literally hundreds, if not thousands of SKUs, and usually more than one item, and they've got to maintain those, and there's a huge cost to maintaining that inventory, thus the high interest rates. If you look at what it costs to rent a lawnmower for a half a day, or a backhoe digger from Home Depot or Lowe's. It's only when comparing cash prices in the discount stores to the total RTO price that you can make RTO transactions look so expensive. And even then, if you were to compare cash prices in retail stores to total RTO costs across all lines offered in an RTO store, yes, customers are going to pay a premium for the right to terminate the transaction at any time and walk away without incurring any debt or adverse consequences to their credit reports. The premium that they're paying is 10 to 15% for that privilege. Hardly the stuff of headlines. So, to answer the question, is RTO really too expensive? We know the answer to be no. Remember, treat your customers like royalty. They deserve it.